More than 1,000 years ago, a young boy from Bukhara rose to become one of the greatest minds in human history. His name was Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, the man whose knowledge shaped medicine, philosophy, psychology, and science for centuries. Today, we explore his life, his experiments, his extraordinary books, and the scientific legacy that still lives in our hospitals, universities, and treatments. Have you ever wondered who wrote the medical textbook that was the gold standard in both the Islamic world and Europe for over 600 years? Let's travel back in time to meet a true genius, a man whose name echoed through the halls of medicine, philosophy, and science for centuries. Ibn Sina, known in the West as Avicenna, born in 980 in a village near Bukhara, in modern-day Uzbekistan. Ibn Sina was a child prodigy, unlike any other. By the age of 10, he had memorized the entire Quran. By 16, he was not just studying medicine, but practicing it. And by 18, he was already a renowned physician, having cured the Samanid emir of a serious illness. His reward? Access to the royal library, a treasure trove of knowledge that he devoured completely. This early immersion in learning set the stage for a lifetime of incredible intellectual achievement. Imagine a single book so comprehensive, so detailed, that it becomes the ultimate medical reference for centuries. That book is the Canon of Medicine, or Al-Canon. This 5-volume encyclopedia wasn't just a collection of existing knowledge. It was a systematic organization of all medical understanding of its time. Ibn Sina detailed the anatomy of the human body, classified diseases, discussed pharmacology, and even introduced concepts like quarantine to prevent the spread of infectious diseases. He was the first to describe meningitis, to differentiate between different types of paralysis, and to suggest that some diseases could be spread through water and soil. His work was so monumental that it was translated into Latin and became a staple textbook in European universities until the 17th century. The canon bridged the gap between ancient Greek physicians like Galen and the medical advancements of the Renaissance, shaping the very foundation of modern medicine. But Ibn Sina's brilliance wasn't confined to medicine. He was a true polymath, a philosopher who sought to reconcile Aristotelian thought with Islamic theology. His philosophical masterpiece, the Book of Healing, isn't about medicine but about healing the soul through knowledge. In it, he explores logic, metaphysics, and natural sciences. He proposed the famous floating man-thought experiment to argue for self-awareness and the existence of the soul, independent of the body's senses. This concept predates René Descartes, I think. Therefore, I am by centuries, showing just how far ahead of his time he was. His contributions to psychology were equally groundbreaking. Ibn Sina recognized the deep connection between mental and physical health. He observed how emotions, like anger, joy, and sadness could affect the body's functions, essentially laying the groundwork for what we now call psychosomatic medicine. He even used music therapy to treat patients with mental health conditions, understanding its power to soothe the mind and heal the body. He was a pioneer in neuropsychiatry, describing conditions like mania, insomnia, and memory loss with remarkable clinical accuracy. And he didn't stop there. Ibn Sina delved into astronomy, alchemy, geology, mathematics, and even poetry. He made important observations about the formation of mountains, correctly theorizing that they were formed by geological uplift and erosion over long periods. In physics, he developed a sophisticated theory of motion, arguing that a projectile moves because of a force imparted to it by the thrower, an idea that challenged Aristotle's views and paved the way for the modern concept of momentum. Despite his incredible intellect and achievements, Ibn Sina's life was far from easy. He lived during a time of great political instability, constantly moving from city to city, serving as a physician and advisor to various rulers, but also facing political intrigue and even imprisonment. Yet, through it all, his passion for learning and writing never waned. It's said he wrote nearly every day, often late into the night, producing an estimated 450 works, of which around 240 have survived. So, what is the legacy of this Persian poem? It's everywhere. Every time a doctor quarantines a patient to prevent the spread of disease, they're following a principle popularized by Ibn Sina. Every time we acknowledge the link between our mental state and our physical health, We're echoing his insights. His emphasis on systematic experimentation, observation, and evidence-based practice laid the groundwork for the scientific method. He wasn't just a preserver of ancient knowledge. He was a brilliant innovator who pushed the boundaries of human understanding. Ibn Sina truly was a prince of physicians and a beacon of the Islamic Golden Age, whose light continues to shine on modern science and medicine. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the life of a true giant of history. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories about the minds that shaped our world. See you next time.